Welcome to the ACCSP Dockside Interceptor application video tutorial. The topics in this section include recording type 2 catch, recording type 3 catch, recording type 9 catch, and the Socioeconomic Add-on Survey, or SEAS. Within the intercept section, you'll ask each angler if there are any fish not available for you to look at. If there are none, check the box next to No Type 2 Catches. If this applies to the angler being interviewed, click on the green plus icon at the bottom center of the screen to enter the species information. If you find that a taxonomic code is missing, select Unidentified Fish from the Species drop-down menu. Then, write a note in the group comments and notify your state coordinator. Otherwise, on this page, enter in the quantity, species name, and disposition. Once complete, click on the bottom right floppy disk displayed in green. If there are more species or additional fish of the same species with a different disposition, click on the floppy disk with an arrow on the far bottom right to add additional records. Within the intercept section, the user will ask if there are any available fish for them to look at. If they agree, select Yes on this page. Then, ask whether or not they were all caught by the angler or if there are other contributors. If there were other contributors, select the appropriate answer to the following question prompt. For the purpose of this video, all the fish were caught by this sole angler. Now, enter in the quantity, species, and disposition for the kept catch. If you find that a taxonomic code is missing, select Unidentified Fish. Then, write a note in the group comments and notify your state coordinator. Otherwise, enter in the kept catch information and its measurement for that catch in this section. In the measurement section at the bottom of the screen, there are options to close out the current measurement, delete a measurement, save the current measurement, or add additional measurement records if there are more measurements for the same species. At the bottom of the Type 3 Details section, there are the options to switch between previously selected species, delete a species, add a species, and the green check button to select once all kept catch information has been entered for that angler. Now, if the user is interviewing a group of anglers with shared catch, the following steps should be made. Please note grouped available catch is not allowed in shore fishing modes. Anglers fishing from the shore mode should be able to split their individual kept catch. But if they're unable to, then the interviewer should split the available catch evenly between anglers who contributed to the total catch. But for this example, there is a group of 3 anglers that are fishing in a boat mode that have shared catch. Only the first or lead angler may have contributors to their catch. So for this group's leader, Lisa, select Other Contributors. Then select whether or not they were able to separate out their individual catch based on their response. In this case, Lisa was not able to. On the following screen, enter in the number of contributors. Note that the question asks how many anglers contributed to the catch including the lead angler. So for the number of contributors, there are 3 in this scenario. Then on the next screen, enter in the Type 3 records for all members of the boat party as demonstrated earlier in this video. Then, once you get to the available catch question for the other members of the party, you will select yes, but on another angler's intercept. And in this case, it was Lisa, since all of this angler's catch has already been recorded on the lead angler's intercept. While on a headboat assignment, the user will focus on collecting discarded catch while the anglers are fishing. To record this information, navigate to the Headboat Discards page while inside the assignment. Here you may add the species, disposition, length, and whether or not the discard was observed. If there is only one record to enter, click on the bottom right floppy disk displayed in green. If there are more, click on the floppy disk with an arrow on the bottom right to add additional records. After you have entered any available Type 3 data, the section for the Socioeconomic Add-on Survey, or SEAS, will begin. The first section will cover the interview status. If they are under 16 years of age, they are not eligible for this portion of the interview. If they are 16 or older, they are eligible and you may continue to the next section. Note that if an angler's age has already been filled in during the interview and it is less than 16, then the C status will be automatically marked as under 16. This section asks if the angler is on a multi-day fishing trip or a one-day fishing trip. The answer options to this question are listed below default. If there is more than one angler in the group and the answer is the same to this question for each angler, then check the box next to the select default so that the answer applies to them all. If this answer varies for each angler, then leave this box unchecked and select the appropriate answer for each angler accordingly. Notice when you select one-day fishing trip when asking about the extent of the trip, the next 2 sections will automatically be filled in with 998 or don't know, since they are on a trip that is less than 24 hours. The next section asks how many total nights they plan on being away from their residence, how many they've been away so far as of this morning, and how many days of their trip they plan on saltwater fishing. There are blank boxes to enter in each of their responses. For each question, there is a don't know or refused response. Similar to the prior section, the select default option is available for an intercept that is part of a group of intercepts. The next section asks for the primary purpose for their trip away from home and lists the answer choices on the left-hand side of the screen below default. Similar to the prior sections, the select default option is available for an intercept with more than one angler. The following section asks for the number of people fishing that day, including the angler being interviewed. There is a blank box entering the number of people, or below that there is the don't know or refused option, and again the select default option is available for an intercept that is with more than one angler. The final section of the SEAS asks the angler for their trip expenses. When you click on a given expense, a screen will pop up allowing the user to enter in the amount for that expense. There's also the don't know refused option. If the angler has an expense not on the list, click on the other option. Then, in the other category field, give more detail on what that expense was. Notice that there will be a red eye icon in the top right corner of the expenses page, as well as a red eye icon on the angler, or anglers if interviewing a group. Once all categories and the entire expenses page has been viewed, a green check mark will appear in both locations. At the very bottom of the screen, there is a question asking for the percentage of expenses spent in the state in which the fishing took place. There is a blank field to enter in their response on the left. There's also the Don't Know, Not Applicable, or Refused option.